morning, my name is Derek Zietsman. I'm the curator of the show Performing Woman, or Woman if you prefer that terminology. Now the premise of this show is that our identities are something that is not stable and non-changing. All of us, when we are born as children, we are born into a language, into an environment, into a culture, even a skin color, that starts forming how we construct our identity through time. And we start performing a role, per se, not a conscious role, an unconscious role. And that, well, in most cases, an unconscious role. And that role differs from, depending on your environment. Like when you're with your friends, you'll react a certain way. If you're in a business world, you'll perform in another way. And as you age and as you change, that performativity changes. The basis of this premise that I've used in this particular exhibition, there are a number of identity theorists who have spoken and researched and talked about it and written about it, particularly Judith Butler and Stuart Hall are my two heroes from that part of the world. And their basis is that our performativity changes as our environment changes. We are subconsciously handed a new script all the time. Right? And on that basis, obviously with the changes that have been happening in South Africa over the last 30 odd years now almost, there's a lot of change here, and that lot of change have been creating new scripts for us and for everybody in South Africa all the time. I did my master's dissertation specifically on how two artists, i.e. Anton Kannemeyer and William Kentridge, used their experiences to create artworks that comment on this changing performativity within characters in the artworks. So I thought that was a great idea to approach and expand that premise to South African artists. I approached just over 30 artists, and I've asked them to create works or either take from the existing genre, oeuvre rather, works that would fit in with this. And these are all different takes by the different artists of how they see performativity of South Africa, of men and women in the new, so-called new South Africa. It is my contention that particularly the white South Africans, and particularly the white male South Africans, is in a crisis mode in South Africa. It has been for quite a while. They're not quite sure how to handle themselves and how to perform the new identity. They're learning it all the time in order to be able to fit in with an environment where they no longer have the hegemonic status that they had before. And this creates uncertainty. It creates different ways of how to approach it, varying from fleeing the country right through to trying to be a completely hybridized new South African, become a white African if you call it. And within this exhibition there are works that comment on all those aspects, right through from, for example, Janus Generalis's work that it's titled We're All Going to America. And that comments and satirizes the, what do you wish to call it, the methodology that a lot of people use in South Africa. They want to get away. They can't live in this place anymore. It's not white enough for them. And we even call, some of them even go to, for example, a place like Cape Town. It's known as semi-migration, with the belief that it's more white there, if you want to call it that. And it varies from there right through to people who are trying to create hybrid personalities that fits them in as half white, half black almost. Well, not necessarily in a physical way, but in their take on how they see themselves in a new South Africa. So the idea behind this exhibition, I would like people to look at the various works and hopefully think. It's easy to create an exhibition and just hang up pictures on the wall for lovely little landscapes and roses and that kind of stuff. But that's to me is glorified wallpaper to some extent. But most of the works here hopefully will create, even if it's only one work, and gets the viewer to think about who they are, what they're doing, and how they're living in a new South Africa. And that's the premises of the exhibition, and some of the artists who have created some of this great work will talk more on their own works.